Greetings and salutations, universe. This is Creeta. I have a turtle on my head, and this is Oceanblock from FTB. Hello. So in the last episode, we did a whole bunch of stuff. I mostly got back into the grind of things, sort of tried to figure out what was going on. We got a glass jar set up. I have a few more now. We got a sluice set up. I figured out a couple more. That one has a normal one, that has an iron mesh, and this one has a gold mesh. We have, I found that 5 minutes was the peak. If I were to click on these, please forgive me, I don't want to click on them right now. I will die. That's basically all that happens. But I can toss all sorts of things in here. I did some dirt in this one, some more dirt in this one. We got some saplings, whole bunch of seeds. I've been busy at work making all sorts of ingots, and I just figured out that redstone was not blocked behind high temperature. Diamonds is blocked behind high temperature. I did accidentally get the lava bucket and glass jar sorted. I even dug down here because I really wanted to have an area to make cobblestone a little bit more readily, and this room to process gravel into various forms of other things like dirt, sand, dust, that sort of thing. Nice little system here. We can just make our own lava, which is nice, and then I can cook stuff with the lava. Pretty handy. Okay, so the objective for this episode is as much progress as possible because I have a list up here, kind of internalized, of what I want to do. I see that diamond sluice is coming up. This thing can be automated, but we need to have a way to pump fluid into it, which means we might need a pump. I would love to have this jar automator, see if we can figure that out, and basically just see if we can have more automation set up. Ow! Ooh! 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 No! Alright, we gotta sort this guy out because that's a problem. And he has armor! Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I really don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Please help. Send help. Please help. Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming. And pow! Oh, he's out of the water. That's helpful. That's helpful. Come on. A couple more swings. Oh, nope, nope. Oh, shoot. Oh. Alright, just have to get over to the guy. Pow! We killed him! Great. Another thing that I worked on in between episodes was a better sort of mob capture zone. We're gonna summon a whole bunch of these guys. They're gonna come on over here, and we're gonna go to town whacking them. Once again, these wooden spikes, they bring them down to 1 HP, or basically 0 hearts, or 0.5 HP. I don't know. You see, half a heart, and we can whack, and we get some experience. I really want to get to 15 levels really quick, because I just lost a whole bunch of levels over there, and I believe there is going to be a thing that we might be able to do with those levels. I'm not sure. If we press, I believe it's R, we have this active trinket thing. This says locked, open with 15 EXP levels. So, I think that's what I want to try. So, whack it, whack it, whack it, whack it. Oh, I got a party hat. That's neat. What does a party hat look like in this game? Golden party hat, woo! Oh, back to the turtle. Turtle, where's the turtle? Turtle, where's my turtle? There's my turtle. Good. Alright, this should have softened up the last ones here. Thwacky thwacky, we have 15 levels. I can also walk on the trapdoors here and get some drops. Neat. Alright, so, yeah, we died over there a few times. So we're gonna try clicking this. Click! Click to add. Empty. So we need trinkets, and then we can put it in here, I guess? I'd hoped that it would just sort of unlock the trinkets for us, but it seems to not have. But that's okay. No big deal. Alright, the first thing I want to see if we can tackle is, for this automated thing, we just have to make some pretty easy things here. We can grab some casks and stuff, some iron. I think we're going to need some cobblestone. Grab that. Maybe a little extra cobblestone won't hurt. And then some redstone, iron, more iron. Cool. So the lovely thing about being somewhat prepared is we can just click here, get a dropper, maybe make a few, like 8 of them. I think that'll be useful. I have a feeling these jar auto processors are going to be critical. We need some wood. Wood? Where the wood? Where the wood at? There it is. Aha! Excellent. Click. All right. Simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Definitely need a bunch of these. Yeah, something like that. And we have some hoppers, I think, already. We do, but we'll make some more. Very good. And we can make some jar processors. Cool. Let's stick with 4 right now. Let's take a quick peek. The jar auto processor will keep starting the crafting of the selecting recipe in the tempered jar until it runs out. So is it inside this guy, or does it like sort of try and do the jar that it's over? That's what I'm curious about. I don't know necessarily how this works. So will it try and do that one? No. All right. When that thing runs out, will it keep going? That is the question to be answered. Do-do-do-do. Hey, it did. Now, if I start up this one, which I ran out of redstone, so let's do the copper one. I think there's a copper one over here somewhere. Copper? Copper? Where's the copper? All right, well, whatever. Copper. Start. Now, will this one keep going? And the answer is no. All right, so we just learned if the jar auto processor is above the tempered glass thing, which, I mean, the picture does sort of indicate that as well. It's whatever recipe is in this jar, then it will continue to keep going until it runs out. So this is going to keep going and process all of my iron. So yeah, that's pretty useful. I like it. I like that a lot. We can take that off the list. Squeezer, pretty simple, straightforward. We're going to need a block of iron. Get this thing. I think that the squeezer might be really useful to make certain things, like if I really wanted to make an aqueous accumulator, for example, or maybe it was the magnetic dynamo. We need some invar, and one of the ways that we can do that is plonk in a piece of iron. Can we? Only one iron, and then I think we jump on it, which I think is so much fun. Why didn't it break the iron down? Excuse me. Why no work? Why no work? I thought that would have worked. Iron? Iron! Where is... Oh, the squeezer's not there, so maybe we need the cluster. Let's try it with this one. Now, there are ways to do this better, and that just gave us 2 iron dust. Very good. So we can now make iron dust, which we can combine with a little bit of nickel, and that will make invar. We can then toss that in a furnace. This also doubles our output of iron, so if we can do more like a mechanical squeezer like this guy, which requires some mineral, and we can get mineral because we have the mineral saplings from the 2 sources of doing the sluicing, that will work. Sweet! We definitely need to be able to make some RF before we can do this, so we'll have to do that a tiny bit, but that is okay. Hey, how do I get the soul sand? No temperature with some liquid mob souls. And this is low temperature, and I can make the liquid mob soul like that. I kind of want to try that. So we were getting mob souls from killing mobs. That makes sense to me. And we can take apart forgot to take the actual piping, but we can set up a little spot right here. I think this will function. We're gonna take, we get, I believe it's half a bucket, so let's do like 16 of these, because that will fill a glass jar quite conveniently. You know, maybe do an extra one, you know? Maybe have an extra one. Yeah, like that. That's good. We'll do another 16. And I think that we can set this up to make soul stuff. And this is, the red one is low temperature, and we can hit start on that. And in theory, momentarily, we should start seeing some of this liquid mob soul start filling the jar back there, and that should happen like right around now. Beautiful. There it is. Things working like you expect it. How amazing is Minecraft modded stuff? It's just the best. Alright, so with high temperature, we can do all sorts... Wait, no, that's not how we get high temperature. I want soul sand. That's what we want. We can then have another tempered glass jar, and as long as it's connected to the system, and the system has some sand in it, we should be able to make some soul sand, and I think that that's going to be like the super awesome... that's going to be the big win. So we can grab a hammer. So this I can just use the ulti-mine. Mine up that's 16, that's 32, 48, and there is 64 if I'm impatient. These are not very fast hoppers. So there we go, we have 64, and I can just place these into this room really quickly, break them, get some dirt, and then from the dirt we place that. You see how this works, right? And we get our sand. Handy. And just like that, we got our sand. Pretty sure we can just clunk a thing right there, put a torch here, plonk a jar, and because we have it in our inventory, we should just be able to search up soul sand. Soul sand. No temperature. Take out the temperature. Click. And now we can make soul sand. So we can do it with a very small amount, or one bucket. This seems more efficient on mob souls, so we'll click. This will be very rapid, and it might go back here. Man, that works exactly how I thought it would. How cool is that? We can add 2 more mob souls to that, and this will eventually fill up both jars. Oh, this auto processor is the best. Alright, now the big question that has been on my mind is do we have bubbles? We got bubbles. Beautiful. The next thing we want is, I've noticed that there are, in certain areas underwater, we have these magma blocks. So we now have magma blocks which will suck us down in the water with air, and we have soul sand which will push us up in the water with air. So in theory, we should be able to do something like this is a little water pocket thing. We should be able to plonk these 2 right here, and one side will pull us down, and one side will shoot us up. At least that's the theory. Now we have to have solid water above both of them, but that's pretty easy. That just plonk some water, plonk some water, plonk some water, plonk some water. So bubbles going up and bubbles in theory going down. This could ruin the entire playthrough right about now. If we can't get back down here, we are in trouble. But we have things like the Paxel, which, by the way, I think this will mine these blocks. Yeah! How about that? The Paxel we got from some random rewards. Speaking of random rewards, I'm just squirreling a lot. Hope y'all don't mind. We got some slates and a bucket, which is handy. Would have liked the bucket earlier, but that's okay, no problem. Alright, I just really want to try the Bubble Vader and see if this works. Up we go. We have all the air we need. We're going to go all the way up to the surface. There's our dome way, way down there. And hey, we're at the surface. And in theory, this is a really big if. Otherwise, we're about to experience a lot of trouble. In theory, this is going to suck us down, and this has the downward pulling bubbles. The really cool thing is that we're getting mining fatigue and slowness like up the wazoo right now. This is going to suck us right down into this block here. If we can, I'm going to shift, and I'm going to move out of this nice and slow. If I can, I'm pretty stuck. We have slowness like slowness 7, and we are free. Cool. We can now go to the surface, and we can go up to the we can come back down here. How awesome is that? Oh boy. Make a diamond mesh, and perhaps more importantly, we'll be able to make a diamond sluice. And this one says that it is less fuel, or it is less water efficient, so it will not be very fun filling with this, but we can fill it with fluid, so we can somehow pipe in fluid. We don't know how to yet, but that's okay, and we should be able to plonk the diamond mesh in there, and that will have a much more efficient... Oh, I can see the water going in. Oh, that is neat. Okay, I wonder how much water these are holding. That's a good question. Might be able to evaluate that. If I plonk this down, how many seconds does it take away? 5 seconds? 6 seconds? Well, to be fair, I think these hold a similar amount of fluid, but maybe they get more processes per cycle. That's a good question. But we now have diamond mesh, which is a little bit more efficient. So if we were to take a look at gravel, for example, we already talked about this in the last episode. The difference between gold and iron was, well, you either get diamonds or you don't. Not to mention 64% on iron instead of 54%. And we probably get to see a similar increase of about 5% on iron and 1% on diamond. But that's still like a 33% increase because it goes from 3% to 4%, which is pretty good. Excellent. So we now have some diamond things. We can put gravel in here and things will be hunky-dory. We can now automate how we process this stuff, which is really nice. And we can just tick things off of the list up here. We have the aqueous accumulator. Now we just need to figure out how to get the liquid from the aqueous accumulator to this. What do we have in the form of pipes? So we have, these are very useful pipes. We also have the mechanical pipes. These are pretty handy as well, fluids. These require steel, and these require yes please, and thank you. Perfect. The pipe wrench looks really easy too, so I think that might be like just ludicrously fantastic. At some point we'll want to actually automate the production of gravel, but in a second we're not going to have to worry about fluid at all off of this guy, which is going to be, I think, just so huge. Now in some mod packs the aqueous accumulator can be really loud, but I didn't hear any noise. I'm not hearing any noise right now. Hopefully you are not either. And we can just plonk down this fluid thing. Oh, they even did the trick where it's waterlogged. That is nice. And we can pipe this over, and we can just take that off, plonk that, and this is now automated, assuming that we can fill this hopper with gravel. How awesome is that? Let's go get some gravel. Alright, we got some gravel. We can plunk that into the hopper, and that's just going to go. How awesome is that? Yeah! And there's a hopper underneath it collecting it, so this is pretty much automated. We do have to process things a little bit coming out of there, so if I was to take these emerald chunks, we can actually press K on things to compress it, which is super handy. We just have to be either in a normal window like this one because it has a crafting window, or we need to be in a crafting table window if we want to compress something. Like we can compress this cobblestone like so, or we can uncompress it. There might be an uncompress button. That would be interesting. And then we can put our emerald clusters in here, and we could tell this, hey, I really want you to make something with the emerald clusters, aka emeralds, right? Another option we have is to plonk them in that squeezer, but that will make emerald dust. Not as useful unless we were using an enrichment chamber, but if we had an enrichment chamber, we could just go directly there. I think we'll be able to get to this pretty rapidly, especially now that we have access to the magmatic pump. The question I have is, well, first of all, I was getting water in. I never changed this with the pipe wrench. We have to suck water out, and now that will be automated. Okay, there we go. Need to change it with the wrench. That's why we grabbed the wrench. Can the wrench get stuff off of these? Nope. How about off the bottom? Nope. How about off the top? Oh, I can go off the top. How to make that work? I wonder if these cast iron tubes can go into another source, or if we can move these jars somehow. I did see that there was like a stone barrel, like a metal barrel. No, there was a sort of, it was just a stone barrel that held liquids. Getting started. Where'd it go? But this was the lost trinkets. You will learn the trinket, yada yada. Trinkets will give you good effects. How do I get the trinket? Valid items for any lost trinket items. I guess we have to go find them. Maybe they're up on the surface, like there's all these little boats and whatnots around, so maybe we can check that out. But I really want to figure out, oh yeah, walking near here is not, pick up random stuff. Hey, excuse me, I'm trying to get rid of you. Thank you very much. We're gonna have to move that. This is a terrible location for it. Okay, I want to figure out a system, maybe with like a stone barrel or something, that we can make lava automated with the tempered glass jar, pump it into a setup like that. Maybe we can just plonk it directly. Oh! There we go. That's all we needed. Another good way, a good thing that I noticed is we can make cast iron ingots a lot more effectively. Rather than using a campfire, we can now set up a system down like so, with a chest. We need a chest, so I'm gonna cannibalize that one. And we'll now be able to basically automate this as well, the production of cast iron ingots. These just get used for so many things, including these jar auto processors, which I think we're going to want a lot more of those moving forward. Another thing I'm really hopeful that will help us move forward is a quartz grindstone. I think it's pretty simple, but there might be certain applications where this is more useful than other things that we've been using so far. We can plonk this down, put into it a variety of things. We could get dust a little bit more easily, but I thought there was something more specific we could put in here. Yeah, we can get double iron off of clusters, which I don't think will necessarily be all that helpful, but you know, we can give it a test ride real quick. Plonk that in there, crank, pull the lever, crank, and this is pretty terrible, isn't it? Yeah, we have a system now that's better, but you know, that's not terrible. It's an option. It's good to have more options. Cool. So we got 7 out of those 4, which I think is, it's pretty reasonable. We can plonk that in there, and we now have that as an additional option. Now we do want the auto hammer. We have the magma thing down here. We'll try and set that up momentarily, but in the meantime, this should just help us move along as well. Just for giggles, we'll skip ahead to the gold guy, but I don't know where that was. Auto hammer, fantastic. No longer shall you have to spend your time hammering. Yeah, it was pretty tricky down here. I dug a whole room for it, and it was working, but automatically push. It's simple as 2 chests. Wait, do we have to power it? There's no way. I refuse to believe, after all that time, that all we had to do was plonk this down without power? No way. Not even remotely real. So it said 2 chests, and then we plonk that down, and it's going to pull stuff out of one of them and plonk it into the other one. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing that? Time out. What does time out mean? Do we have to power it? How does this work? Do we have to give it a hammer? Maybe we have to give it a hammer. Where's a hammer? Gotta get a hammer. Get a hammer. Unless it is outputting to the other side. Maybe. Plonk that there. Timeout. Oh, now it's going. Progress. It is working. It's as simple as that. Guys, I feel broken. Okay, we've calmed down. We can press start on these. These are a little bit slow, but my thinking is that it should pump stuff right into this magmatic dynamo, which can hold 4. So if I was to take out these 4, there's an extra one. There's 1, 2, 3. When these all finish, this should fill the magnetic dynamo. This is a proof of concept, and we should be able to power something. Obviously these don't work, but if it does pump directly into there with these cast iron tubes, we will be in business as far as power goes. I think that is going to be a very nice early game thing. You just feed it cobblestone. To have enough of these, it takes like 100 ticks or 3 minutes or something. And we have all sorts of massive improvements. I love this game so much. Okay, we have to... It was that simple. You know what? This thing is too good. I have decided is just simply too good. I'm going to throw it in the fire. No. What we're going to do is upgrade it to the diamond version, and I think that's just going to be so much better because of how amazing it is. And it should just be plonk that there, put the... I guess we'll put some sand in there along with some... Hey, excuse me, we're going to put this cobblestone in there as well. And whenever I want to, I can mine this up. I don't even have to use the hammer anymore. I can use like this pickaxe, mine cobblestone, plonk it in here. We could make 1 or 2 more of these and just have some lines. So if we wanted, we can have the gravel. I can use a hammer directly. We'll come up with a way to make cobblestone, I'm sure. Maybe like an igneous extruder might be a system. There's... Oh, we have cobble gens? Oh. Okay, well, we have cobble gens. We also have the igneous extruder, which these things, I believe that just produces it for free forever once you have these on their sides. The question here is, this is now full, so that works perfectly. Absolutely wonderful. We'll be able to power some machines in the next episode. And let's see, so let's do a really quick adventure up to the surface because I want to, and we can do that. So let's plonk down a chest. We'll just plonk all the stuff in here. We're going to take out a few useful things, such as the paxel, sword, food, and hopefully it's dark up there because I would like to be able to sleep. Okay, enough of that. We're not playing games here, we're trying to have a good time. We'll grab a little bit of wood and really quickly make a boat, which might be a quest, I don't know. And up to the top. Whee! Oh, this is fantastic. Sometimes games just hit you in such a good way, and I think Modded Minecraft is such a good example of... I have the boat. This is for crafting only. We have to make a bigger boat? What? I saw a thing for it. Exploration. Set sail. We need any rowboat. Cog. Sail. Alright. I have some bad news. We need mushrooms. Mushrooms give us slime balls. Another way we... for the mushrooms and the slime balls, we need to make leads. We can also use rope, which needs straw, which needs rice, wild rice stuff. This is, exploration is going to have to be another episode. We also keep having people come down our little water system here, so I might have to install a doorway, another one that works better for them, but that's okay. That's just going to have to be a thing for the next episode. I've had such a good time this episode, you guys have no idea. I had a giggle fit, which in these times, oh man, this slowness thing is a problem. Another thing that we can look into pretty quickly is there a better diving? We have all sorts of stuff. Now that we can make titanium because we have high temperature, we can make diving gear, which I think will be pretty accessible. We just need kelp for most of them. And then maybe we can swim around and not get debilitating attributes applied to us. But, I mean, look at all this stuff. We got together a diamond sluice. We know how to automate that. We can also make lava perpetually as long as we give it cobblestone. The cobblestone we can put into magmatic dynamos. We have high temperature, which means we have better access to all sorts of things. Jar auto processor. I can't even do it anymore. So, thank you everybody for joining me on this hilarious adventure. This has been Creeta. I have a turtle on my head. This has been Oceanblock. I hope you're having a wonderful time. Bye-bye!